When it comes to superheroes, Marvel and DC have often borrowed, or let's say inspired, ideas from each other. Some of the parallels are so striking that fans can't help but notice. Take Deadpool, who mirrors DC's Deathstroke right down to the name, or Thanos, whose cosmic tyranny feels very familiar if you know Darkseid. Even characters like Hawkeye and Green Arrow share nearly identical skills and gimmicks. Today, we're diving into 10 fascinating Marvel characters who clearly echo their DC counterparts. When you think of the most powerful superhero ever created, Superman is the benchmark, the original flying super-strong laser-eyed icon. Marvel, however, has taken more than one shot at crafting their own answer to him. First came Hyperion, a character who mirrors nearly every part of Superman's power set, from super strength and flight to energy vision. Later, Marvel introduced the Sentry, a hero with the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns. But unlike DC's symbol of hope, both Hyperion and Sentry are often written with darker, more unstable personalities. They're proof that while Marvel borrowed the blueprint of Superman, they twisted it into something more tragic and psychologically complex. Sidekicks have always been a big part of superhero storytelling, and Marvel's Bucky Barnes mirrors DC's Robin almost perfectly. Just like Robin was the young partner to Batman, Bucky was introduced as a teenage sidekick to Captain America during World War II. Both served as a way to make their darker, more serious mentors relatable to younger readers, while also bringing energy and heart to the stories. Over time, though, each character evolved. Robin grew into Nightwing, and Bucky transformed into the Winter Soldier. What began as simple sidekicks turned into complex heroes with legacies of their own. Thanos, Marvel's Mad Titan, is one of the most iconic villains in comic history, but his creation was directly influenced by DC's Darkseid. When Jim Starlin first imagined Thanos, he actually based him more on Metron, another new god. But Marvel's editor told him, if you're going to steal, steal from the best. So Starlin amplified the concept, giving Thanos Darkseid's massive physique, grim demeanor, and thirst for universal domination. The difference? While Darkseid seeks the anti-life equation to enslave existence, Thanos became obsessed with the Infinity Stones and his twisted love for Lady Death. Two tyrants, two universes, both godlike, unstoppable forces that shaped comic book history. Marvel's Hawkeye, Clint Barton, is often seen as the Avengers' sharpshooting underdog. But long before his debut, DC's Green Arrow, Oliver Queen, had already made the bow and arrow a superhero's trademark. Both archers wield trick arrows, from explosive tips to net shots, and fight alongside the most powerful heroes of their universes, whether it's the Avengers or the Justice League. What sets them apart is personality. Oliver Queen is more of a brooding social crusader, while Clint Barton is the wise-cracking everyman who proves you don't need superpowers to stand among gods. 2 arrows, 1 target, pure superhero legacy. Fans have long-drawn comparisons between Marvel's Moon Knight and DC's Batman. Both are wealthy vigilantes with no actual superpowers, relying instead on gadgets, combat skills, and sheer determination to fight crime in the shadows of their cities. But where Batman is defined by his obsession with justice and the trauma of his past, Moon Knight takes things in a different direction. His fractured psyche and multiple identities, from Mark Spector to Stephen Grant and Jake Lockley, add a layer of psychological complexity that sets him apart. While the similarities are undeniable, Moon Knight often feels like Marvel's darker, more unhinged spin on the idea of an urban crusader. Marvel's Black Cat, Felicia Hardy, is a master thief with a feline persona and a complicated romance with Spider-Man. Sound familiar? That's because her DC counterpart, Catwoman, has been embodying those traits since the 1940s alongside Batman. Both characters prowl the night with agility, charm, and a moral code that blurs the line between villain and anti-hero. While DC's Selina Kyle is driven by her independence and survival instincts, Marvel's Felicia Hardy leans into luck-based powers and a modern, playful edge. Despite their differences, the parallels are undeniable. Two iconic cat burglars who forever changed the heroes they fell in love with. Two of the most shocking transformations in comic book history come from DC's Jason Todd and Marvel's Bucky Barnes. Both started out as loyal sidekicks, Jason as Robin to Batman, and Bucky alongside Captain America. But tragedy struck. Jason Todd was brutally killed by the Joker, only to later return as the ruthless Red Hood. Meanwhile, Bucky was thought dead in World War II, before resurfacing as the brainwashed assassin known as the Winter Soldier. Each story explores themes of loss, revenge, and redemption, showing how even sidekicks can come back with a darker, more dangerous edge. Did you know that Marvel's Deadpool was heavily inspired by a DC character? Let's talk about Slade Wilson, also known as Deathstroke, is a deadly mercenary and assassin introduced in the early 1980s. Years later, Marvel created Wade Wilson, yes, just one letter different, who also happens to be a mercenary, master of weapons, and even shares a similar color scheme. But here's the twist. While Deathstroke is serious, calculated, and feared across the DC universe, Marvel decided to flip the concept on its head. Deadpool became a parody of fourth-wall breaking, wisecracking anti-hero who makes fun of everything, including himself. What started as a copy turned into one of Marvel's most popular and unique characters. When it comes to mystical powerhouses, Marvel and DC both introduced heroes that feel eerily alike. Dr. Fate came first, debuting in 1940 as DC's golden-helmeted sorcerer, who draws his power from the Lords of Order. Decades later, Marvel gave us Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, complete with flowing cape, arcane spells, and a mysterious sanctum filled with magical relics. Both characters serve as protectors against supernatural threats far beyond ordinary heroes. While Fate's power comes from an ancient mystical entity, Strange's mastery stems from his training and intellect, but either way, both stand as their universe's ultimate defenders of the mystic arts. When it comes to super speed, Marvel and DC both have their champions. Pietro Maximoff, better known as Quicksilver, mirrors many traits of DC's Scarlet Speedster, the Flash. Both heroes can move at incredible speeds, defying physics and racing past any opponent. While Barry Allen is portrayed as optimistic, selfless, and a beacon of hope, Quicksilver is often more hot-headed, impatient, and sometimes even arrogant. Their powers may look the same on the surface, but their personalities and stories set them apart, making them two very different takes on the idea of the fastest hero alive. And that's a wrap on our look at Marvel characters inspired by DC. Which counterpart surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more geeky deep dives every week.